How's it going today, guys? Today we have some huge updates on NIO stock. So today we're going to be talking about some good things that are happening for NIO stock. There was the Beijing Auto Show. I was not in town to be able to cover that, so I was kind of bummed about that, but we'll talk about it now. So a couple good things from the Beijing Auto Show, and we've gotten some new praise from a big bank. So a couple really good things. Like and subscribe if you want me to keep covering NIO stock, and if you enjoy the content. And if you want to get in the game for investing, I also have a Robinhood link. We can do some fun stuff with the money. So let's go ahead and see what happened with the Beijing Auto Show here. So what did we learn from the Beijing Auto Show? And my source here is Reuters, just if you guys want to check into it. So we've kind of learned that they're over the COVID slump. So during COVID, they had sales as low as they've ever had since about 2005. And this is in the EV market even. So they are over the COVID slump. Now, if there's another wave of it, it could get bad again, but they're over it for now, which is great. All these new startups are clearly able to produce a lot of capital. So we have Zeping, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Li Auto, WM Motor, and NIO able to raise $8 billion in capital. So clearly these are a lot of interest in these ones here, and they're able to raise a lot of capital. And I know NIO's been doing their share offerings and everything and making way more capital than that. So NIO showing off some of their new models, which is great. The EP9, which was their 2016 supercar. Their ES8, which is their SUV, which has been having really awesome sales. And then their new one, which is the EC6 Coupe SUV. So we're going to be talking about this one a little bit here.
In terms of the EC6, it appears NIO is meeting delivery as scheduled. So NIO announced via tweet that it officially began deliveries of the EC6, its 5-seat premium electric vehicle SUV coupe. The company launched the vehicle in July of 2020, and they are starting as promised to deliver by September. So this is great news, and I think this could be a big boost to how many vehicles they're selling every month.
So what other goodies here did we get from the Beijing show here? So they showed off their power swap stations, which is a big part of their battery leasing that they're going to be having. So this is great to know that this is one of the game changers that I feel that they can lease batteries. I think that's really awesome. I love that they showed that off. They have 3 different charger types, which is also really nice. Didn't really look into that one so much. They upgraded their operating system, which was somewhat expected, but we're going to dive into that a little bit more in the next set here. And then they also have patents on NIO Life. So all really good things.
So what is this NIO Life? And it appears to just be a designer that's trying to make different clothings based on the NIO car design. So I guess I don't really care about this one much, if I'm honest. I mean, that's good for them, but I'd kind of rather them just focus on the EV. But it seems that this is some sort of clothing line that's being made with NIO. So, I mean, a little something on the side, I guess that's fine, but nothing too crazy.
So what was the biggest thing, I think, from the whole entire thing? So the upgrade to the smart operating system was something that was expected, but then they also said they have their new driver assist that they're going to be placing in all of their vehicles here. So we have a few clips we're going to dive into right here.
So here we just have a little clip saying NIO unveils new driver assist functionality. NIO also released its navigation on pilot feature, which automatically guides the car on ring roads and highways. So really awesome to know that they're finally getting into that autopilot zone, and we can someday hope for the autonomous vehicle where it's driving itself. The company plans to release the feature using the batches through firmware over the air in October, along with the West upgrade to the operating systems. So this is great. So this is something that's going to be coming down the pipe here really, really soon in October. So I'm really happy with the timing on everything, and hopefully it all works out and they can keep developing this into something great.
So after looking at the clips here, I am very, very excited about the new driver assist. Some analysts are saying they're going to be fully autonomous by 2022. That's maybe a stretch in my eyes, and I feel like I'm kind of a Super Bowl on this one, but maybe a stretch in my eyes that they'll have fully autonomous vehicles by 2022. But the fact they're getting their foot in the door, I love. Great. And now we're going to dive into the bank goodness and the mad love that a certain bank is having for NIO stock. So what do we get from this bank that loves NIO so much? So the bank is Deutsche Bank, and I probably said that wrong, but whatever. And the analyst is Edison Yu, who we talked about a little bit earlier this month. What did Edison Yu do earlier this month? So he changed it to a buy rating. That was an analyst change. It's crazy how much weight one person has on one stock and how much can just blast it upwards, but I don't know, that's a different topic, I guess. So he changed it to a buy rating, September, and he changed the price target to $24, which I kind of think is peanuts with everything going on, but that's just me, so whatever. And he changed the price target to 24, and that day it really charged up. So they also were having different articles on today and yesterday why he was so bullish on it, and I'll give you the cliff notes on that here. So Edison Yu feels that China loyalty is all going to go to NIO stock. He's feeling like Tesla is going to start getting buried by NIO based on China loyalty, which I can kind of see because they've gotten funding directly from China, and I can see that there would be some loyalty there. He's very, very bullish on the EE7, which is now EV sedan that is supposedly going to be announced later this year. So I am also, that's great. More models are great. More sedans would be great if they, make their fleet bigger and more options. I think they're going to have more customers. So this is all great. He is also stating that in 2022, he's thinking it's going to be a fully autonomous vehicle. That I don't know. They just announced now that they're getting into that self-driving space. So to say that might be a jump in my eyes, and again, I'm pretty much a mega bull. I'm sure there's a lot of R&D that has to happen to get a fully autonomous vehicle. And who knows when that's going to happen. By 2022, I'd be pretty surprised, but hard to say, actually. So he's also saying that he thinks that NIO is the long-term EV winner. He thinks it's going to have brand power, staying power, and it's going to be one of the big EV makers in the future, which I also agree with. Otherwise, I wouldn't be invested in this one. And the last thing he kind of mentions is how well it scored on JD Power. So the only thing I can think of are those damn Chevy commercials with JD Power and that one annoying guy. So I kind of have a bad affiliation with JD Power, but I'm sure it's good to be scored well by JD Power. I'm sure in best new quality of vehicle, which I feel like every new vehicle should have high quality, so I don't really get that. But that's what they scored well, and they scored well in a couple other categories as well. So Edison Yu, super bullish on this stock right now for Deutsche Bank, and I am as well. So I agree with everything he's saying here, minus I don't feel like they're going to be able to attain that in 2022. So let's get a little breakdown of how we're feeling about all this news here. So let's bust out how we're feeling about all of this news on NIO stock. So in my last vid, I said, is NIO stock still a buy? And I said, hell yeah, it's still a buy at 18 bucks. I was like, hell yeah, that's great. Still a great price in my eyes because everything was going so well. So, and after this, I obviously agree even more with that, even though it's blasted off about 7% since that last video. So yeah, I feel great about it. It was up 5% today, time of recording, which is so odd because of the day of the auto show where they announced this autonomous vehicle and how well all of their models are doing and everything like that. It was only up 2%, which I felt like, well, it's like, oh, okay. And then today was up 5% when they get an upgrade from an analyst, which is like, how does one man have that much power? But again, I'm not going to get into that, I guess. So for me, I love it. I love all this news I'm hearing here. I love the new model. I think their sales, I personally believe their sales are going to skyrocket still. Month over month, they're beating records. I think they're just going to keep on doing that, which is going to keep pumping up their price. I think they're going to get profitable eventually. And now you have to understand, though, that research and development costs a lot of dollar bills. So their charging stations, their new models they're trying to make, the new factories they're going to try and make in the future, this is all going to cost a lot of money. So this could push back their date of being profitable. But I do think in the near future, a year, 2 years, 3 years, they're going to get into the profitability area of life, which is great. Competition, I think, is not hurting them so much, which we saw in last month's deliveries. We'll see on the next month's deliveries how all that is doing. So I'm loving this one. I'm not seeing any huge red flags here. The only thing I wasn't too pumped about was my share dilution I had when they had the share offering, but they also were able to secure capital with that. So you can kind of justify, okay, my shares are worth less, but they're able to, do all these things with this money and make the stock worth more. So you could kind of justify that in a little bit of a way here. So I'm still loving this one. If you guys have watched my stuff, you know I'm like a perma bull on this one, but I will let you know. I'm always wanting to see the flip side of the card here. So I will let you know if anything bad is happening. If you enjoy the content, I follow NIO stock like religiously. So if you enjoy it and want to watch more, please like and sub. And hopefully you all make some money. I know I made some money on this one today, so I'm pretty happy about that. So take care.